Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're doing good and well. So it's time for my first album review of the year of 2026. I'm talking about the sixth studio album from the symphonic metal band Beyond the Black. This is their album titled Break the Silence, which came out via Nuclear Blast on the 9th of January, and the album is 10 tracks and 37 minutes in length. So I'm just going to quote Jennifer Haben first because she talks about what the album was intended to be. So she says, on Break the Silence, we open the door to new influences and collaborations. From symphonic to ethnic elements and guest artists who brought their own style into the mix, this album reflects everything we love about making music without boundaries. It's a powerful blend of who we are and who we're becoming. So first of all, I must say that I heard the first couple of singles I heard from this album were Rising High and Break the Silence. And I personally felt a touch underwhelmed by those two singles just because I felt like they were Beyond the Black songs I'd heard before or could imagine myself listening to again. It felt like they could have been on a previous album, like maybe their self-titled or Horizons. And I just felt like, if the whole album was going to be in the style of those two tracks with the same structure and approach, I would be bored of this album fairly quickly. But as I got further into the album, I was surprised and pleasantly surprised at that with their clear attempts, both through collaborations and guest vocal spots, or guest spots on the record, that there was a little bit more to their album than I had originally expected. There was a definite freshness here and real genuine attempts, I think, to expand their sound and their approach to songs than what maybe as Beyond the Black fans or listeners of Beyond the Black have become used to. And I really appreciated that here. So let's take Let There Be Rain as an example, which was a collaboration with the Mystery of the Bulgarian Voices Choir, which had a choir-led hook, a really memorable one at that, as well as some good guitar input into this song. And I thought this definitely sounded like a more memorable and fresher Beyond the Black addition to this album. I also thought Can You Hear Me, which was a collaboration with Asami from Love Bites, was again another interesting fusion with another artist, which still sounded like Beyond the Black. It still sounded like a Beyond the Black song, which I think is still important, that you can hear their signature sound. But it had just something a little different about it at the same time. So you knew that it was a little bit of a diversion, and they're introducing some diversity to their sound. As I say, the two opening singles or two opening tracks of the album, Rising High and Break the Silence, were for me just a little too familiar. Not that they were bad songs, but as I say, I felt a touch underwhelmed as a long-time fan of the band, that there wasn't sort of anything too much new here. A couple of other tracks, though, that were definite highlights on this for me were the Art of Being Alone single, which featured The Lord of the Lost, an emotional and lyrically deep track, I thought, which also showed some of Jennifer Haben's highlight moments on this record as well. And, again, recognisably Beyond the Black, but also recognisably something newer here too. The French language song La Vie et un Cinéma was another impressive song I thought on the album. Could have done with a bit of expansion, but I enjoyed the French language element and the synth introduced this track. Being always somebody that enjoys the synthy sound, I thought this was a good song, although it could have maybe been expanded slightly more in the writing department. I still thought this was a solid song on the record too. So overall, I would say I enjoyed pretty much all of the guest spots, all of the guest related songs on the album, but there still felt like there was some room for improvement here. But this is a promising step forward for the band. They've made a bold attempt at something new, and I really appreciate that. As someone who's been following the band for a while, as I say, my personal favourite albums from this band possibly will always be Lost in Forever. I'm also a big fan of Heart of the Hurricane too. And their self-titled was pretty good, pretty cohesive as a unit of music as well. But yeah, this was at least, I feel like, trying to push them forwards somewhere they haven't been. I thought overall it was an enjoyable record. So the final score from the Green Man for this one is going to be a solid 7 out of 10. Let me know what you thought of this album. Did this pleasantly surprise you? Did you not like it maybe? Or did you love it? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts were. And until my next video on the channel, which is going to be the resumption of Dark Horse Discs with the 3rd season of the Dark Horse Discs series, as we talk about Paramore's debut album, All We Know Is Falling. That is coming up on the 13th of January at 9 p.m. GMT, wherever that is, or whatever time that is, wherever you are in the world. So from me, until next time, it is bye for now.